Welcome back. It is now the next day. For those of you tuning in now, what we're doing is we're sitting down and compiling an SCP one-shot homebrew D&D campaign, um, and just having a good time, chilling out, thinking about stuff, trying to put stuff together so you can watch along. Maybe put something together like this for yourself, or take what I do and run a campaign based off of it. If you missed last episode, I highly encourage that you go watch that first because there's going to be a lot of missing context and I'm not going to go over everything. So, jumping right back into it, we have. I watched these videos on these SCPs and I've decided I had a lot more, but I narrowed it down to these ones, and these are the ones that I want to put into the campaign. So, first one, the Happy Birthday Monkey. I'm writing this down as I talk about this. 983. I hit the wrong button. B-Day Monkey. Basically, if it's your birthday, the monkey wants you to sing along with it, and if you don't do a good job, then the more you sing along, the more you age. But if you do a perfect job singing along with it, then it will give you a pill, not a pill, a candy that will put you back to the age that you were. If you do a bad job singing along with it, it will just straight up kill you. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So the next one is SCP 3558, which is called the eyelid remover. This is probably the simplest ones. If you touch this, you will be compelled to cut off your own eyelids. Yeah, that's about it. Seems like a fun one to just leave lying around. Eyelid remover. Next one is SCP 3521. Banana pill. Banana pill. Basically, it's a pill that will kill someone by literally filling their entire body with bananas. These bananas are highly radioactive, and they can wipe out an entire level of this facility with just their sheer vast amount. SCP-500 is another pill that can cure anything. So if you take the banana pill and then quickly take one of these, you should be able to survive. Cure all pill. Oh, so sorry. And then finally, we have SCP 1048, Builder Bear, which is a bear that makes other bears that have other anomalous properties that don't like anything, and they just run loose in the facility. Yeah, I think that's this is a huge list of SCPs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is definitely going to be more of enough for a one shot, and some of these aren't even going to be encountered. So now we're going to swap back to the upper monitor. This is our list of SCPs, and now we're going to determine where we want them in the facility. So let's go back to our little image. Not this one, the other one. We're going to make new layers as we go. So we're going to add a new empty layer on top. And now we can simply make rooms that branch off of this. So what I think I'm going to have is, I'm not sure if I want to do like T intersections like this, or have them just branch out for a while with rooms on the sides. I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to make each one a T section with rooms on the T sections. So like this. Yeah, like that. And then I take my paintbrush. Yep. Make the whole thing black. I should be able to just move this over here. Paint the whole thing black. Make a new one up here. Make the whole thing black. And then the exit doesn't need to have a T section. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little paintbrush, make it a lot smaller. Yeah, that looks good. We're going to deselect this if it will let me. There we go, deselect. So these are on a new layer, so I can toggle them on and off, so if I make a mistake, I don't have to erase into the other lines. What we're going to do now is we're going to add a new layer. And these layers that we're adding now is going to be the doors in between all the hallways. So unless we're fighting something incredibly powerful, they shouldn't be able to get through these doors without a key card. So we're going to have a door here, a door here, 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 and then there's rooms connected to these hallways. We'll go here, 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 just so there's hallways in between the hallways. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. And then on this side, do I want to make this 2 hallways? I think I do. So we're just going to add in some little extra doors. Split these rooms off. And I think we'll have like little hubs with a bunch of SCP rooms on the ends of these. Then the final one, door, 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 and then right here, right here. I said I want another one in the middle. All right. So yeah, this is going to be the map of our facility for this time. This is much smaller than the facility that I made previously. This is the facility that I made previously. Big, large. I'm not sure if I can even fit 15 SCPs in here. Yeah, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to further expand it, because this seems small. This may be excessive. We'll find out during the campaign, though. If the players seem too confused, I can change it for the next one. So we're going to change the pits all the way up. And we're going to find which layer we need to draw on. So this one. Then we're going to take this, move it down here. Get our little drawing tool. And this should make it bigger than it was before. Move it over here. And line draw. Did I miss a pixel? No, that's perfectly on there. And now I can deselect this, and then the final two. And I'm also leaving myself plenty of space on the sides of the map to write down little notes for myself that I need to remember. This is kind of thick line, but that's okay. I like this layout for the facility. I think it looks kind of cool. Kind of funky, kind of fresh. Deselect. Now it's all on one layer. Now we go to our doors. We go back. I believe we were on 8 pixels. 8, come on. Close enough. Yeah, it's roughly the same size. So we'll do boop, 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 boop. Having something like this may make the players a little bit more nervous, like they'll never be safe because everything's on the same level. So instead of having an elevator where you know you can just move away from the dangerous SCPs, you know they're always on the same ground floor as you. Not that there's that many like real monster like SCPs that are going to come after you here. Make that a little bit bigger, and boop, 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 boop. And here for a final one, getting ads. Luckily my ad blocker is taking care of it. Well, for most part, it's still popping up. And then here, 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 and finally here, 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 here. So this is going to be our full facility. South wing, east wing, north wing, west wing. Should make things interesting and fresh. And I think the way I made it is bigger than my previous one. Is it? Not really. I would say the other one's about the same size. This entire half on the actual map was destroyed. Why is there a 3 there? Oh, because it's security. Yeah, okay. Okay. So this is going to be our map, and this is exactly what the players will know. Players won't know anything more than this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this file to my desktop as SCP map the 2 for players. And we'll save it as a PNG. It's a bigger file, but it should be fine. Save that there. Throw it onto my background. Onto my desktop. There we go. Replace final destination. My desktop sometimes doesn't do things properly. It's very annoying. But we deal with it. Okay. So now that we have a separate version for players that I can load into something and move around a marker to show where they are, we now have this, and this is going to be all the DM's information. So I want the players to start out here. Where do I want them to start out in here? Let's say here. We'll have the players start in this location. Now, in this, some of them are guards, some of them are SCP, not SCPs, some of them are D class, and other ones are researchers. So we'll have the scenario be they were escorting some D class and researchers after doing a test back to their room, or they could have been in the middle of testing an SCP. That works better. We'll have them be in the middle of testing an SCP in this room here. So what we're going to do is we are going to start making little boxes for rooms on where we want stuff to be. So we're going to say this right here, this little box. This is going to be, where's text? Here we go. Yes, add new text layer. I should have, actually, we're going to undo. We're going to make a new layer. Image, no, not image, whoops. Empty. And we're going to name this layer SCP rooms, just so we know what it is. And this is going to be all of a room, so I can toggle it on and off if I need to show any players something on the main map. So here's going to be our rooms. It's going to be our first one. Doesn't really matter what size it is. Actually, that's a little big. Just as long as you know what's in there and what it represents. Oh, there's our first room. We're going to add our text layer, and we're going to call this TR for test room. And because it's where they start, we'll call it TR start. And this is bigger than I want it to be, so we're going to simply take the size and we're going to decrease it to about 22. Why not? It looks fine. So we have TR start. This test room is where you start. Now, I want them to run into Dr. Clef and Dr. Bright pretty early on. So, I think I'm going to want them to run into Clef first. Now, since their goal is to escape the facility, what they're going to try to do, seeing the map, is go from their start location through this hallway, up, this way, out, and down. But we don't want the players to do that. We want them to have a reason to explore most of the facility in order to find things to help them get out while interacting and running away from the SCPs as they go. So how do we accomplish this? Well, there's a few ways to accomplish this, and the best way of which is keycards, because it's something that's established in SCP pretty thoroughly. So we say that the researchers doing this test are junior researchers, and we'll say that they were waiting for Dr. Bright to start the test, so they're just all waiting in this test room. Dr. Bright, unbeknownst to them, is going to be doing some wacky stuff, causing all this commotion to happen. Now, this is going to be the start. They're going to try to get out. However, we're going to make this door a level 2 keycard clearance room. So we're going to go to SCP rooms again. We're just going to put a little 2 here. Make it a little bit more obvious. So this is going to be a level 2 door. You know what? Instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code the doors. So level 2 is going to be red. This is going to, what? Oh, I forgot to undo. Forgot to switch it. So this is going to be red. That's going to be a level 2 keycard clearance door. Along with, not level 2, this has to be the highest level. This is going to be, just so I remember, I'm going to make a little key in the corner. This is a corner, yeah. Red equals 2. We go down, we go blue. Blue equals 3. And yellow will equal, oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Hey Google, turn on fish tank rack 1.
Sure, turning on the fish tank rack 1.
And yellow equals 4. That way, if we get confused, we have a key in the corner. And then we can do level 5s. Like, level 5s will be universal. But in the SCP lore and universe, the O5 Council is the only security level 5 personnel, and they are very important, so they're not going to be getting an O5, level 5 keycard. Simply not possible. So we'll say that they have a level 1 keycard just to get through most of these normal doors. It's mainly getting in and out of areas that will take things like that. So we're going to change this into the yellow one. And just do one of them. Looks like a hot dog. There we go. Yellow, level 4. This is going to be level 4. And this is going to be level 4. Because they don't want people escaping the facility if they put it into detonation lockdown. This is the exit. We should probably label that. So we'll take another text box. Go away. Yes, I want to add a text layer. Exit. Why is it yellow? I don't. There we go. Exit. We'll make this, unlike the previous one, nice and big. And now we're going back to SCP rooms, which we can toggle like that. So far, we have the player start here. They can go into any of these wings, but they cannot exit until they get a level 4 keycard. Now, we're going to have... Alright, we're going to have a holding room, like a little cell, where they're going to be detaining Dr. Clef. Let's switch the colors. Right here. So I make sure that they run into them on the way out. So we're going to simply title this. Gonna change this back to 22 pits. Or 20, that works too. Clef cell. So we know what this represents. This box is kind of big, but it should be fine. Did I make that on the right layer? Yes, I did. Since I made it in the right layer, I can simply make sure I'm on the right layer. Do this. Delete. Deselect pixels. Oh. Do that. Deselect. Clef cell. There we go. So that's where Dr. Clef is going to be. So if they go and they try to escape, Dr. Clef is going to give them a warning like, what's happening? You can't get out that way. You have to let me out of here. Um, Dr. Clef is going to be like almost a prisoner in the facility, and it's gonna look like Clef is an SCP, but he's not. He's a doctor, well, mostly. Clef is going to see this opportunity if they do let him out, as he's gonna know where to get a level 2 key card to go into the rest of the area. But there is going to be multiple ways to get a level 2 key card to start moving around again. So I think what I'm going to do is the entrance to this area is going to be level 2. So we're going to color dropper. Oh, let's switch. Color drop. Rouge. There we go. Take that. SCP rooms. Right here. That's going to be red. Switch. So he's going to know where a level 2 key card is. But it's up to the players to see if they want to trust him or not. So we're going to have Clef's office be here. Because it's easy, we're going to take this layer, duplicate layer, pull it over here, just name this one Clef Office. And this is going to be Dr. Clef's office. So the players have to go here, here, here. They can talk to Clef or go right past him. Then notice there's a blockage. They don't have to go into see Clef at all, because this area is, I believe I said it was administration, but we will take a look at it. Yeah, so we're in the East Wing, which is offices, research, and D-class dorms. So we will make this whole area D-class cells. So let's take this, duplicate, D-class cells. I'll be right back. I am back, had to go eat some food, but now we're hopping back on that grind. And I also forgot to play a little bit of music, because jazz makes everything go better. So yes, I'm going to have these be the D-class cells. They can do whatever they want with the D-class. Most of the D-class probably won't work with them, but they might find a few allies. I'll probably roll on a loot pool in order to see what they get out of that. Did I not? Wait a minute. What layer did I make that on? What? Did I make a mistake? What did I do? Oh, I drew directly onto layer 2. Oy, oy, oy. Ah, whatever. Mistakes that shouldn't be made. Foolish. Alright. So we have D-class cells, we have class office. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we should put here. They need an SCP to be testing at the very beginning. So let's look at our list of SCPs and decide which one we should have. We'll do the birthday monkey. No, killing someone off right at the beginning might not be the greatest of ideas. You know what? It'd be funny. 983. So in this testing room, we'll have text. Actually, I'll just copy and paste this so I get the right size and font and everything. All right. Duplicate layer. Oh. Okay. But everything broke for a second. So that is SCP 1048. B-Day. Oh, wait. Looked at the wrong one. Too many small toy animals in this. 983. B-Day Monkey. 983. 983. B-Day Monkey. And we'll hit enter so it fits a little bit better. Okay. So they need level 3 to get a level 2 to get out of here. And we'll probably make the area past this level 3, so we're forced to go into here. So we will make this. Let's make sure we're on the right layer. SCP rooms. Yep. This will also be a level 2. Not that it'll matter, because they will have already gotten past this. And we'll make this yellow as well. So let's get a little color picker. No, not yellow. I mean blue. Blue, blue, blue. This is blue. So they can get through this, and then they can get into this area. But then they would have to find a blue key card in here. And finally, in the heavy containment, they will get their yellow key card. And then they can escape the facility. And then they will have successfully beaten me. For Builder Bear, since he wanders the facility freely, every time they walk into an area, I will roll a d20. And if it hits 20, then I'll have an instance of SCP-1048 Builder Bear be in that area. So they have a 1 in 20 chance of encountering it. This jazz is pretty fucking banging. Alright. So Clef's office, This is light containment and this heavy containment. So we'll just put a good old L here and an H here. Just so I remember. Okay. So this is pretty sparse. Now I could also play around with vents and other things, but I don't think I want to do that. We have a lot of SCPs to deal with. Trying to think if any should be in this area. I could put the coffee machine in another testing room here, as well as this one. So we'll take this, just so I can remember it. We'll highlight it yellow, and we'll change the highlights to red as I go past them. So I'll stick these two in this area, because I don't want to have everything condensed in one place. And you know what? We'll also put this one in this area as well. And then we already put in good old birthday monkey. So highlight him, orang. So I guess we'll put SCP God right here. Oh, I moved it. Didn't mean to do that. Duplicate layer. And we'll move this down a little bit. We'll call this SCP. Oh, we can never remember the numbers for half of these. 343. 343. God. And God isn't going to help them unless they get the help of Dr. Clef, who has prior arrangements with 343. Clef is going to basically know the locations of all the key cards, so Clef is going to be valuable to them. However, Clef is probably going to betray them at the end, especially if he gets SCP-668, this knife. Because if you express intent to kill someone, they cannot run away or fight back in any means. They're frozen. So it's a free murder weapon. That's why there's so many precautions around it. And we'll put that in heavy containment breach, because even though it's technically like a Euclid class, its level of danger definitely puts it in heavy containment. Yeah, but classes in SCP, Euclid, Keter, and Safe does not mean it is safe, super dangerous, or mid-tier. Safe means that there's no reason to expect it might escape, so even if something's labeled as safe, it might be incredibly deadly or world-ending in the wrong hands. Euclid means it is reasonably, it is reasonable to keep it contained, but there is a good chance that it might get out. And Keter means it is near uncontainable. Like, it will always constantly try to break out, almost no matter what the conditions you use to contain it are. So we'll put him here. This area is still pretty sparse. What else did I want to put here? Well, we put him in. So let's change him to Orang. And we'll do a testing room for the coffee machine. Actually, we'll just stick the coffee machine in the hall. We'll put it right here. Let's go to... Let's move the SCP rooms to the top layer so I stop... Oh my god, what's happening? So I stop losing it in the midst of everything. Okay, so it's black. So we'll just make a little arrow right there. And we'll take this. What? Oh, since I made it top layer, I can't click any of the text layers that are above it. Gosh darn it. Clef. Duplicate layer. SCP 294. 294. And they can get a various amount of stuff from this. There's gonna be I'm not gonna hide the fact that it is an SCP. There's going to be a little label next to it, as well as a list of banned substances that you're not allowed to get. Alright. Oh, forgot to label it. Enter coffee machine. Right in the middle of the hall. That way there's something in pretty much everywhere they go. So it's going to be Clef's office, and we'll have Dr. Bright's office here. Actually, we'll make it at the end. We'll duplicate the layer. We'll move it here. And we'll call this Bright Office. Dr. Bright will not be in his office, nor will they find anything useful in here this time. But it will be unlocked. And we'll have in this area just general cubicles. Duplicate layer. And if they ask me, if my players ask me, oh, can I find blah, blah, blah here, I'll ask them to roll for it. Or I'll roll for it and tell them if they find it or not. So we'll just simply call this cubicles. That's definitely not how you spell that. Cubicles. Stick that right in there. I think I moved the whole thing over by an inch. Yeah, there we go. What? There we go. Alright. So yeah, I feel like this area is... Wait, we're still missing an SCP, aren't we? Yes, the eyelid remover. You know what? We'll have that in Dr. Bright's office. So SCP-3558. Dr. Bright's office plus SCP-3. Oh god, it was 558? Like a fucking banana peel. There we go. Yeah, that was right. 358. Eyelid remover. There we go. Still quite a bit. Trying to see what I can put into light containment. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Tune in next time to see how we go. I think next time we're going to have the last episode. Everything should be done by then. All the research is done, the map's coming along smoothly, and it should be done pretty soon. If you're enjoying this series, leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And stay tuned for next time. See y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye.